Did you guys hear about this shit? The Man in Cave by internet historian. Apparently he plagiarized the entire video. That's why I got taken down. Okay.
Man in Cave is about Floyd Collins, a cave explorer who in 1925 got trapped in a cave. Nice one, Floyd. The video is an hour and 10 minutes long and pretty detailed, covering the events hour by hour as they happen. What a unique way of telling the story. The video implies a deep level of research and understanding, and that animation's pretty cool too. The video was uploaded on September 29th, 2022 and was extremely successful, garnering like 10 million views in the few months since it went online. It was deemed so entertaining it became the thing every Twitch streamer put on while they went and did something else to keep their audience busy. Ugh.
Does XQC really do that? Does he just put on a video and get up and leave? Why do people watch other people like that? Just no respect, man. Like, at least pause the video while you get up, right? Like, I understand you need a break or whatever, you know, you gotta use the bathroom, but at least pause the video.
That's a good chunk of change right there. But then in March of this year, the video disappeared. Any links to the video took you to a blank page saying it was unavailable because of a copyright claim. Usually with really popular videos though, YouTube resolves this quickly to avoid negative attention, but this was down for a while, and then it stayed down. What's going on here? Let's look into this a bit. This video is no longer available due to a claim by Pro Sportority Limited doing business as Minute Media. That's what DBA means, by the way, aren't I clever? Minute Media is a publisher of digital content. One of their brands is Mental Floss, a digital news and entertainment site, which also has a YouTube channel. So, did he use some of their copyrighted images or the YouTube channel's footage? Well, it doesn't look like the channel has ever covered Floyd Collins. The Mental Floss website, however, has. In 2018, Lucas Reilly wrote a story about the 1925 cave rescue that captivated the nation. Uh-oh. This article is an extremely detailed summary of the story of Floyd Collins. Uh-oh. In fact, it makes the unique choice of covering the events hour by hour. Oh, he didn't. He did not just—
Floyd tried to breathe calmly. His left arm was pinned underneath his torso, his right wedged by the rock ceiling above. Beneath him, sharp crystal shards dug into his skin.
Dude, what do you guys think of this, man? Because I love internet historian. Now I'm thinking to myself, like, did he plagiarize anything else? I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I still like the video. I don't know. I feel like he could have went about it a different way. Like, even if he plagiarized the whole thing, the video, the animations, that was all, like, super good, right? But I feel like the scumminess happens when he gave no credit. That's the part I think people care about. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure if he would have came out right from the get-go and been like, hey, I made an animated version of this article, you know, or this story, and linked the story, like nothing would have been wrong, you know what I mean?
When he did attempt to shuffle, more gravel and rocks would tumble from above and pile onto his feet.
He should try untying his shoes, said one. No, we should send him down with a contortionist who's got a mallet and a chisel. Hey, how about using dynamite? One clique formed, insisting that it was a great idea, till they started arguing about gas torches. But by far the most common suggestion, of course, was amputation. So he removes his suit, drapes himself in coveralls, and grabs a lamp. Whoa. But Floyd didn't really answer any of his questions. In fact, he was incoherent. So Miller took a few mental notes, and he left. Somehow, Homer mustered the strength to altogether wrench the cord from the other men's hands. The rope went slack.
I mean, I haven't seen the article, but this is like almost word for word.
Homer, Floyd, and the rope lay limp on the cave floor. No progress had been made.
For the first time in YouTube history, a copyright claim is real. Internet historians stole Lucas Reilly's article, used it as a script for a 70-minute video, gave him no credit, and uploaded it for money. But let's consider an alternative explanation, just to be fair. This was a real historical event. They're both telling the same true story, so of course they're going to be similar. That's a good point, you're very smart. But there's a difference between using the same sources or recounting the same history and telling the exact same story in the same way using the same words. And if going hour by hour didn't make it obvious, the fact it copies the rest of the structure makes it blatant. The opening, which covers Floyd entering the cave, even uses the same image used at that point in the article. Soon after, when Floyd first becomes trapped, the article flashes back to Floyd's childhood. The video copies this narrative framing and does the same thing, flashing back after he's trapped, and even tells the same anecdotes about his past.
Floyd has been exploring the caves of Kentucky since he was merely 6 years old. And as he grew up, he gained a reputation for being a very daring caver. He would dive into some hole on one side of town and emerge miles away on someone else's property.
This one's interesting because the words are quite a bit different. Instead, it's copying the article visually by having him literally pop his head out like a gopher. You know how in the previous segments I've been showing all the really obvious examples to get the point across? Man in Cave is over an hour long. If I showed the funniest examples, we'd be here all day.
Gerald knew more about cave rescues than most. In fact, just that summer prior, he had helped untangle Floyd from a different snag. Everybody was shaken by the experience. Burden fainted as he crawled towards the exit. Most of the other men had to be carried away. World of Tanks is not only the best game I have ever played.
Okay, that one was a joke, sorry.
Have you guys played World of Tanks? Is it good? Let me ask you a question. If I did a World of Tanks sponsorship, would you lose respect for me?
Sorry, I couldn't resist. There are some differences between the two, though. Internet Historian's video has mistakes. He gets the weight of the rock pinning Collins's leg down wrong. He says it's 33 pounds, while the article lists 27. Every credible source I can find has it listed as around 27 pounds, give or take, and the Wikipedia page lists 26. The rock weighs about 26.5 pounds. How do I know this? We still have it. We've weighed it. It's 26.5 pounds. How did he make this mistake when all his sources, including the one he was plagiarizing, say otherwise? It's almost like when he was loosely rewriting the script to seem more original, he accidentally changed some of the facts of the story. Or maybe it was on purpose. It's slightly harder to say it was plagiarized now. I mean, how could he be ripping anyone off if he got the facts wrong? Man in Cave is also a little confused about the fucking cave.
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with this guy's shirt? Did he just like come out of an oven or a firefight or something?
In 1917, Collins discovered a beautiful
Did he just come out of a cave?
cave full of stalagmites on his family's land, which he named Crystal Cave. They tried to turn it into a tourist attraction, but this didn't pan out. He then tried looking for a new cave on his neighbor's property, and this is the cave he got trapped in while clearing out, which was later named Sand Cave once he became trapped. This is covered in the article as well as being common knowledge about this story. Internet Historian treats them like the same one cave and calls it Sand Cave. So now the story has insane shit, like Floyd advertising Sand Cave to tourists, which literally never happened because he died in it before it could open for business. That's what the story is about! This isn't nitpicking. Okay, it is. But this is the cave in Man in Cave. It would be nice if he got the cave right. This is the place most people my age are going to learn about Floyd Collins, and
Has anybody done this for any other of his videos? Because I love Internet Historian, man. Now I'm thinking about it, right? I just feel like he just should have gave the article credit. Like, what's the big deal? You can still make the video. Would anybody, I guess, have like lost respect or been upset with the fact that he didn't like do all this research on his own? Because me, I wouldn't care. Like, I don't think he's a genius. I think he's literally just making funny videos, right? I don't think mentioning the article would have been anything bad whatsoever.
it's a shame they're learning history that's not true. Here's a funny thing I noticed because I'm one of those weird cave people. We prefer the term amateur speleologist, but he keeps using this picture to represent the grotto Floyd is trying to reach.
On the other side is this. Until he found this hollow.
This isn't a picture of that hollow. There are no...
I mean, he could have still monetized it though. Like all of this is his like original work, right? I mean, I would think so. Like all of the animations, right? Because that's the video, the animations. All of the facts and stuff, that's history. He's just covering the facts.
Pictures. No one's even seen it apart from Floyd. And because I'm insane, I recognize this picture. It's from the website of Crystal Onyx Cave in Kentucky, which is about 12 miles away from the mammoth cave system the video is talking about. This cave is often confused with other nearby caves because the names are similar and they're so close by. So it's an understandable mistake to use this image instead of one from the right cave system. But I do find it really funny. A picture being used to represent part of Mammoth is from a site whose title reads, "We're not Mammoth."
He re-uploaded it with credit? Well, yeah, but I think that was like after he got like found out, right? Like basically his original upload had nothing to do with the original article. I mean, yeah, if he's gonna make a story about it or make a video about it, he shouldn't have copied it like literally word for word.
Like, they tried to warn you, buddy. And I saw people congratulate this video for the effort that went into it. I assume they're talking about the animation, which is pretty decent. Internet Historian's team did a good job with this, especially considering its length, a compliment I've received myself many times. That's one reason why this is all so disappointing. This could have been good and not been stolen. We can do both. Reilly is a really talented writer and researcher. He was the articles editor for Mental Floss back when it had a physical magazine, with folks who worked on it calling him its beating heart. art. Reilly is a very well-regarded, award-winning writer with a skill for telling gripping stories, and I can tell Internet Historian agrees with me, so it's a shame he gave him no credit for his work, even as it contributed to what must have been a huge amount of income for him, doubtless more than Reilly ever made for writing it in the first place. Internet Historian sometimes cites his sources when they come up. He'll have text saying where it's from, and that's a good practice, but this makes his choice to never cite or mention Reilly obvious. He's trying to hide it. Sometimes the way he tries to look like he's done research and wrote this video himself is very funny. There's a bit where he's reading the article out loud, as usual, then pauses and acts like he's about to read something else and just keeps reading the fucking article.
Near the final squeeze, large cracks had formed. The ceiling was beginning to droop. Alright, so the following is a recounting of events from one of Carmichael's men, Casey Jones. Casey and another worker spent about an hour in the cave, but he heard Collins moaning ahead, so he pushed himself on. He managed to make it through the squeeze and he arrived at the 10-foot pit. Seeing Floyd trapped, he tried to ignore the pebbles that were tumbling behind him.
Internet Historian wants you to think he's telling you a story he made after doing...
I don't know. I didn't actually think this was too bad, the way that he did it. Like, I actually think, like, if you're going to get him for plagiarism, I think this is kind of a bad example. And the reason why is because he had his own input here or whatever, and he also didn't read this for, like, word for word. But, I mean, when he mentions the name... Wait, Casey Jones? Like, from the Turtles? How old is Casey Jones? Well, see, I don't know, because it gets into kind of, like, a weird territory, right? Because, I mean, what the fuck is he supposed to say? This is weird. I mean, I will say this, though. It does seem disingenuous. I've never really thought about this stuff before. I've never been in a situation where I've covered like something that happened before and other people have as well. You want to try to make it your own, you know what I mean? But sometimes it's like hard. But like some of this shit is literally just word for word though.
To ignore the pebbles that were tumbling behind him.
Internet Historian wants you to think he's telling you a story he made after doing a lot of research. He doesn't want to read you a good story he found. He wants to pretend he wrote it. But
yeah, that's the thing. No, I'll agree with that. When I first watched the video, I thought he did all this research because to my knowledge, no one was credited. And I think that's the disingenuous part. When I personally watch it, I was like, wow, this guy did a shit ton of research. I was like over an hour long. Holy fuck. How much research did he put into this? Like this guy said, you know, it's fact, it's history. So let's say I were to make a story, or let's say I were to make a video on this. Well, it would be similar, right? Because it's not, I mean, you're trying to get the facts, you know what I'm saying? But there comes a point when you copy it word for word and it is plagiarism and shit. I feel like a lot of this shit could have just been avoided if he just would have fucking credited the source at the very beginning.
He wants to pretend he wrote it. But this, the obvious fact it's plagiarism, and it's wrong, that's the easy stuff. What's interesting is what happened next. I've been standing on my feet for ages. I'm gonna have to sit down. That's better. This is my living room where I keep all the books I pretend to have read, and also my board games. Yes, I'm one of those people. I even have a board game about caving. This is quite hard to find nowadays, so I had to get it from Germany. They love board games there because they're not afraid to look one another in the eye. I can't wait to spiel this cave game. For my money, that's
I feel like there was like 4 jokes there and I missed all of them.
the best joke I've ever written. Hold on, we're doing a video about plagiarism. Let's get this set up properly. Aha! But then... This is a whole style of video
What the fuck is going on right now? What? I feel like I'm missing something here.
now, and by style, I mean one person did it first and then a bunch of boring people ripped her off. Stealing from lots of places is inspiration, but stealing from one place is plagiarism, unless you call it the bread tube style, and then it's fine. I don't even know what a bread tube is. I just woke up one day and was told that I was in it and that people hated me for being in it. I don't even know what it is. Anyway,
I don't know what
when
the
someone
bread
from
tube is.
Mental Floss noticed the plagiarism and filed a copyright claim, Internet Historian tweeted about the video's disappearance, but in a kinda suspicious way. He obviously knew why it got claimed, but he chose not to say why, so his audience could...
Yo, you know what? That's a really good fucking point. So if I would have had the size channel that Internet Historian does, I would have not only been furious that my shit got... Dude, I was mad that my little shitty 15K video got taken down. But this video had like millions and millions of views. So like, I did think that was really weird that when I saw this tweet and the video was taken down, there was nothing else said about it.
but freely speculate amongst themselves for hundreds of posts about all the ridiculous reasons YouTube takes things down. Some of them noticed Pro-Sportority is based out of Israel and got anti-Semitic about it, but ironically so it's fine. What an interesting audience he's built. All this needless speculation has helped to create a smokescreen. People assume the video was taken down for a bullshit reason and there is no clear explanation, when there is one and he didn't give it to them on purpose. Internet Historian has taken videos down before. A lot of them, in fact. Like dozens. None of these seem to be because of plagiarism. He says he just doesn't think they're very good anymore. I think he got a bit of what we in the business call trolls remorse. Like, oh, maybe this video was inappropriate and normal people would judge me for it. And he got rid of that video that's just a bunch of Tucker Carlson clips and reading a hentai in an extremely racist Japanese man impression. That's not advertiser friendly, and we want those World of Tanks bucks, don't we? But since his fans are, you know, normal cool people, they saved all those old videos, and there are several channels dedicated purely to re-uploading all his old inconvenient stuff. And some of them tried to re-upload Man in Cave and instantly got hit.
Yo, all right, guys. I got a question. Now, all of these years that you've known me, and I've known about Internet Historian, I've been playing along. I'm going to ask you guys a question. Who in the fuck is this guy? I don't know who this guy is. This old guy? This whole time I've been playing along, man. Yeah, I know he's in a lot of photos, but I don't know who he is. He's a stock image model? Okay.
Some of them tried to re-upload Man in Cave and instantly got hit with a copyright claim as well because the video is in YouTube's system now. Here's a screenshot that was posted of one of these claims. The infringing video blatantly and unlawfully plagiarized verbatim text from our article, and the placement, pacing, and presentation of content is...
You know what? This is actually an explanation. You know how rare it is when YouTube gives you an explanation for why they did something? Yeah, so like whenever I've had something like this happen, they don't really go into like crazy detail. So I'll give you guys an example. The last video that they said that they like demonetized, or not demonetized, but they age restricted the video. For whatever reason, this video, the downfall of 14 has been greatly exaggerated. It was one of the parts of Lynx's video. It got age restricted, but the other parts didn't. And they didn't tell me why. YouTube doesn't allow naked breasts on videos. I don't allow idiot dumb chatters. Oh, look at that. I didn't even need to click on your fucking name again to ban you because the last dumbass shit you said, I still had your name highlighted. So I could just easily ban again. So for whatever reason, this got age restricted. I don't know why.
Almost identical to the article. Speaking from experience, normally claims aren't anywhere near this detailed. The article's owners are not messing around. This is how we found out about the plagiarism. Kat was browsing her drama Reddits, as she does a lot, and she saw a post with this smoking gun in it. It's amazing how easy it is for a story like this to not get spread to a wider audience, even when it's for a video this popular. The furthest the story has got so far is a thread proving it, just sitting in a random subreddit with like 90 upvotes. If Kat hadn't seen this, I wouldn't be talking about it, and you wouldn't know it happened either. So, thanks, Kat. You're so cool.
Maybe you are too sexy.
No, you.
I love you. Most YouTubers in this situation would fight a copyright claim publicly, arguing their case where everyone could see it, which would force YouTube to take notice and do something about it. People at YouTube on Twitter all the time and get responses and see things fixed. I once tweeted randomly about an old test video I deleted getting copyright claimed somehow. I didn't even at YouTube about it, and they still found it and asked me for more information. They're pretty diligent about responding to people messaging them on social media with problems. Internet Historian can't start a public case about this because he is in the wrong. He stole an article for money, and bringing attention to it would just broadcast to his audience he did 70 minutes of plagiarism. Right now, not many people know about this, although some of his viewers have noticed how strange it is he's avoiding talking about it. Why isn't he telling his audience who to get mad at and go after? Why isn't he giving his completely normal
I need direction, my lord.
fans marching orders? Because he ripped someone off and he doesn't want you to find out, that's why. In May, 2 months after the video disappeared, a new version was uploaded, claiming to be a re-upload of the previous one. But then, 2 days later, it went private. On the Internet Historian Reddit post about the re-upload, the big guy himself wrote about there being some complications. Again, being vague about what's going on. This new version would remain private for about 2 months. It's not clear why. In July, while I was making this video, it finally came back up, but only unlisted. You can watch it, but it doesn't show up in a search or your recommendations. You can't watch this video now unless you know it exists and go looking for it and get the link from somewhere else. This new version has quite a few changes. It opens with this new clip clip explaining what happened, but in the vaguest way possible.
Sorry for the re-upload, fellas. The original got copy struck.
Again, we have a comment about it being copy struck, but no explanation why. He's still hiding what happened, in a pretty sneaky way this time. You see,
Like, dude, all of this could have been avoided if he just would have credited the article. Has he said anything about this at all? Yeah. So like, you have a good point. Even if he credited, if he took as much as this video saying, he probably took all of it. So even if he credited, it still wouldn't like alleviate him of any, you know, like wrongdoings. But let's just take it one step at a time, right? Because I'm trying to get his thought process down. He has a massive audience. Everybody loves this guy. No one is going to care if he did the research or not. If it's not for like ego, then why would he do it?
See, this graphic of the copy strike has been edited. The notice on the video actually looks like this. It shows who made the copyright claim, but obviously he doesn't want people looking up the company behind it, because then people will find out why the video is unavailable. So now he's editing screenshots to try to hide what he did. The re-upload uses mostly the same animation and tells the same story, but lots of the voiceover has been rewritten to try to sound less like the article. Here's a section I showed you earlier.
His left arm was pinned underneath his torso, his right wedged by the rock ceiling above.
Now here's the HD remaster.
His right arm is wedged against the roof of the cave, and his left is stuck in place underneath his torso.
He flipped the order he talked about the arms and reworded how he talked about them. He hasn't really solved the overall plagiarism, he just changed the words more than last time.
Beneath him, sharp crystal shards dug into his skin. He can feel the sharp crystals on the ground poking into his back. Floyd tried to breathe calmly. Floyd took slow.
I mean, dude, like, he definitely tried to hide it. I'll put it that way. The fact that one, he didn't credit pretty much anybody, right? Then the video got taken down for like, the biggest thing for me is when his video got taken down, he didn't fight it at all. Man, the thing is like, it's just, I mean, I don't hate him. I'm still going to watch his videos. I still think he's really funny. It's just disappointing, man. Like, it's just like, why? I don't know, man. I feel like that just mistakes were made, and it's just disappointing to see. It's just disappointing to see this because I'm a big fan of Internet Historian, you know?
Steady breaths. So he removes his suit.
That's another thing too, right? Can't watch another Internet Historian video without thinking if he's plagiarizing. So like now, because of this, unfortunately, in the back of my mind, I'm already thinking about, oh, did he get this from someone else? Wait, what is this? Oh, he just tweeted about it? Statement about my man in cave video. Is this a boob?
Drapes himself in coveralls and grabs a lamp. Miller thinks for a moment, then says, yeah, all right. He grabs a lantern.
In the past, we've seen people reword stuff they stole and hope they don't get caught. But now we're getting a special treat. We get to watch someone go back and try to change it even more. Like, no, we already know you stole this now. You can't take it back and pretend you didn't.
But Floyd didn't really answer any of his questions. In fact, he was incoherent. So Miller took a few mental notes and he left. But Floyd didn't really answer any of his questions. There's nothing Miller can do. So he hurriedly turns around. Homer, Floyd, and the rope lay limp on the cave floor. Floyd fell back down. Homer, Miller, Burden, and the other three men were flat on their backs.
I want to get across how much worse written this version is. Reilly's article has a chilling section about Floyd spending an entire day trapped screaming for help. He began a tormenting...
Just out of curiosity, man. Dude, is this article even linked? No one is linking this guy's article. Nobody's linking the guy's article. Okay.
Routine. Right. Sleep, wake, scream. Sleep, wake, scream. Sleep, wake, scream. Minutes melted into hours. His voice disappeared. His arms tingled numb. Pain radiated up his ankle. This is vivid storytelling. I can feel myself going insane, even imagining being trapped there for 25 hours. It's a really good passage. Internet Historian liked it too, so he stole it.
He's at the start of a very tiring loop. Sleep, wake, yell. Sleep, wake, yell. Hours passed. His voice gave in. Arms tingled numb. Pain radiating up his ankle. Here he remained in the dark for the next 23 hours.
Now, in the remake, he has to tell the same story, but with completely new words, so we get this.
So there's Floyd in the dark, yelling out for help. yelling into the pitch black. After a while, his voice would give out, and he would have to sleep to recuperate. He would then wake sometime later, remember where he is, and begin yelling again for help. Here he remained in the dark for the next 23 hours.
It's just not as effective. The feeling of being stuck in that cycle for dozens of hours is gone. It's quite difficult to take a story you got from an article and tell it again without using any of the words you liked.
Oh, you're saying he's stealing because he can't write for shit? I mean, see, I don't know if I agree with that, though. I mean, that's probably what he's saying. See, this just opens up so many doors, man. This opens up so many doors because now I'm thinking of his other videos, you know, how much of that did he write? And because his other videos were like fucking amazing, you know? Like I thought the writing was really good too. What I think in the re-uploaded version is that he knew he fucked up, right? He knew he got caught stealing the shit from an article. So like he had to re-upload it. And if you're in a rush and you have to rewrite a whole fucking script that's like over an hour long, there's only so many ways that you can rewrite what happened if something is true. That's just what I'm trying to... Oh my God, you don't... Dude, you guys are so fucking dumb, man.
Dozens of hours.
He's merely 6 years old.
Holy
I
shit.
guess I can't mention Kentucky now. That makes it obvious. Better re-record.
Floyd started his caving career at the tender age of 6.
Some of the changes give away how uncreative he was, just how much he relied on Reilly's work even with the most basic shit. He used his words about someone's hands being bruised and purple.
Parts were harder to navigate than before, especially now with their bruised and purple hands.
So in the new version, this had to be changed.
Parts were harder to navigate than before, doubly so with their bruised and rock-shredded hands.
Why would you not just write a new description of some hands in the first place? This is so lazy. What is wrong with this guy? And despite all these changes...
I think the reason why is because it already got taken down. So he was probably rushing to rewrite it. Okay, look, I'm not defending him here. Okay, I think that if he did obviously steal all this. I think that that's extremely shitty. But he said it's lazy. What is wrong with this guy? I'm trying to give you a reason why he did it. The reason why he did it was because he probably, what I think, he probably panicked. He probably knew people were going to start wondering where the fuck is this video. People were going to start looking into it. So and another thing is he wanted to get the video out. Are all of those reasons like good reasons? No, they're all shitty because he stole it in the first place. I'm not defending that at all. But just to say like, well, we don't know why he did it. Yeah, we kind of do if we think about it. Because he wanted to get the video out. He probably panicked. Like there's a lot of reasons why he would want to do it.
Guy. And despite all these changes, the factual errors about the cave and the rock are still the same. It's like this version was made to annoy me. It's especially hard to make major changes when you already made the animations. It's almost impossible to remove Lucas's influence without doing so much work it's not even worth it. For example, the gopher section has been completely removed since it was directly copying an anecdote from the article. He's replaced it with a new segment, which is just C-tier reference humor.
He would go off on his own, disappearing into the caves for many hours at a time. Have you seen that movie, The Descent? It was a lot like that.
Holy crap, Lois, this is just like that movie. Some of Reilly's article was too short and simple to meaningfully change, so those parts have just been taken out.
And all they could do was leave for now and reassess. Everybody was shaken by the experience. Burden fainted as he crawled towards the exit. Most of the other men had to be carried away, and all they could do was leave for now and rest.
Since it can't use any of the clever words it stole anymore, the whole thing's been dumbed down.
Now, Floyd was trapped in a supine position. So Floyd is trapped laying down like this.
Imagine sitting down to watch your favorite show and the streaming service has replaced it with a different cut where all the characters talk like idiots now.
You made me look bad, and that's not good.
I feel bad for the people who enjoyed the original. People in the comments and on the Reddit page are asking why he changed it and why all their favorite lines are missing. They don't know why because he didn't tell them. Why is the new version of the video unlisted and not public? Well, it could be because it's a lot worse, but mainly, by being so much worse, it kind of gives away what he did. This video's fans obviously want it back up, but if it goes back up and it's obviously much worse written, the 10+ million people who saw it the first time, potentially even more than once, will wonder why it's different and look into why and maybe find out. But
yeah, and dude, that's what I was trying to say earlier, man. Yes, he stole it, but there's also reasons for why the re-upload was shitty, why he didn't talk about it on Twitter.
But if it goes back up and it's obviously much worse written now, the 10+ million people who saw it the first time potentially...
And it's gonna be written worse because he was probably in a rush to get it back up. People forget that writing a script is a big pain in the ass, you know, and I mean, okay, it's even more a pain in the ass if you steal the script and then realize that you have to actually write it. It's going to be more of a pain in the ass then.
Even more than once, will wonder why it's different and look into why and maybe find out. But if it stays down, people will wonder why it's down and look into why and find out. It's like he's trying to delay the inevitable wider discovery of what he did by letting the video exist, but as quietly as possible. So no one wonders where the video went, but not too many people see it and notice the differences. It's a precarious situation, and I don't envy him. But he does deserve it. Right now, he looks like a plagiarist and a liar.
I mean,
and a coward who's willing to ruin his own video and let it gather dust unlisted in the corner to try and hide what he did. To be fair, the new version now actually cites Reilly's article. Whenever a section was too difficult to change, but too significant to remove, he keeps it in and cites the article at the bottom. In the original, there were several places where he quoted the same sources.
Dude, I'm trying to find this article. I'm trying to find the article. Oh my God, here it is. I found it. Okay. So for any of you, all right, for any of you that want to actually read the article, okay? For any of you that want to read the article, there it is. There it is. Damn, this is crazy. I never knew this article existed.
In the original, there were several places where he quoted the same sources Reilly quoted, and in this version, just to be safe, he also cites the article to make it clear that's where he got it. The description of this version also acknowledges the talented Mr. Reilly and links to his work. This would have been cool.
Like I said, man, it's just disappointing, really. It's just disappointing because, like, I love Internet Historian. I think he's so funny. I love his videos, man. And when I first watched this, I thought that he was the one that did all the research. I'm pretty sure that all of us did.
If he'd done all this the first time and not tried to hide it. But this is like if Philip re-uploaded a very slightly changed version of the plagiarized videos and just put "thanks to Boomstick Gaming" in the description. It's too late to hide what he's done, though that hasn't stopped him from trying. Oh, late breaking update. A couple weeks ago, the Man in Cave re-upload became public again. I wondered how he would stop people noticing its weird changes. Then, days later, he uploaded this year's new video, so people's attention is onto the next thing now. The only people who really noticed the video coming back are the hardcore fans. This was a real clever boy move.
What?
If I wanted to sneak my weirdly changed re-upload back out without too many people noticing, this is how I do it. And
what does that mean?
All I'd have to do next was hope no one ever makes the video I'm making right now.
How does that have anything to do with the video? Don't tell me what it means. I don't want to know what it means. I want to stay stupid because ignorance is bliss. I don't want to know what it means, man. I'll tell you what, sometimes I get weird comments and I don't know what they mean, but I imagine they're negative. I just shadow ban them and I forget them like in a day.
And my weirdly changed re-upload back out without too many people noticing. This is how I'd do it. And all I'd have to do next was hope no one ever makes the video I'm making right now. Oops. Right, my eyes have gone fuzzy, so it's time to get back up. Ah, my knees really hurt too. Okay, I threw out an IKEA poang to make room for this beanbag chair, and it's rubbish. I love sacks full of balls, but not this much. Don't get a beanbag chair.
I have a beanbag chair.
Jesus. Hey, the mic's still out of frame. That's nice, that never happens. I don't know, a proper apology would be nice. And maybe an explanation for why it happened.
What? I want an explanation for this fucking shirt. Like, okay, this shirt reminds me of when Kramer put his shirt in the oven because that feeling of like warm clothes coming out of the dryer is magnificent. You know what I'm saying?
As far as I can tell, this is the only video where he's just ripped something off like this. I hope. You know, why did he do it for this one? Really, I just want to know where he got 33 pounds. I'm a simple man with simple needs. Yorkshire puddings with a little bit of gravy on top, and explanations for discrepancies in numbers. My parents never took me to see a psychologist, so I assume that's normal. In the meantime, I'm very happy to accept the award for Jack's Film's second best video of 2022.
Oh,
the version from 2022 is
this
gone.
the new
Get
one?
it off the list,
Okay.
Jack. Bump me up. Now, what's the first place one? And how do I destroy it? Oh, it's the steamed hams one where an animator
I have
did
no-
like a
what is he
million
talking
different
about?
styles. That one's really good. And it even tells you which styles it's doing and when in the description. This
Okay, I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. The biggest thing from this is I don't understand like why he would do this. Like if you're gonna take a story, why would you copy it word for word? And why would you not give the initial article credit? Okay, yes, it could be lazy. Yes, it could be easy. But guys, I guess I'm thinking about this from a content creator standpoint, okay? I don't know. Maybe he did need the money. Maybe he didn't need the money. There's a lot of reasons. All I'm trying to say here is that I don't know and I'm curious about it. Based on this video, I think that he straight stole this. I think that he knew about this article. I randomly saw this in Discord and I was like, wait, really? This happened? Yeah, it's very disappointing. I mean, when you really like, you know, a content creator, and then you find out they did something shitty, you know, it's just, you can't help but be disappointed, you know? I just feel like all of this could have been avoided. And whenever he makes a new video, I'm going to think to myself, okay. You know what I mean? I don't know. Look, just to recap, it sucks. It's disappointing to hear. I hope in the future, if he makes more videos and he takes from articles, he learns from this and he credits the article and changes the fucking script. Okay, that's it. That's it. Racked over.